Welcome to Physics 152. I'm Lisa Knight and I'll be your instructor this semester. I wanted to give you a brief introduction to the structure of the course so that you would be familiarized with Blackboard and the Blackboard Learning Management System. Notice that along the left-hand side you have several buttons. The first button is the page that you always go into, which is the announcements. I will make announcements every week concerning updates on grading, reminders about what to turn in, etc. The next button is the button for contacts. This has my information, email information, and my phone number, and my office hours. Then we have the Start Here button, which is where you will actually start orienting yourself to the course this week. All the course content that you will be reading and watching and activities that you will be completing, the links to them will be housed under course content. There's a link to the physics forum and there's a link to the virtual classroom because this course is a synchronous course. We will meet every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 12:50 p.m. via the virtual classroom. We're using Blackboard Collaborate in this course. You will only need to have a microphone, but you may also share your video. You can access this link via your telephone, via a tablet, via a computer. And if you are having special problems, we can even use a telephone number to access it. You also have a calendar, which will give you the due dates for all the different assignments in this course. And a good reminder for you. And you have a link to your grades, a link to CCCC Cares that offers resources for those of you that are impacted by COVID or other life issues. And then we have the course resources, which has important files. So let's go to the Start Here menu. This week, you will need to complete the orientation and math review. This is a two-part review. First, you will go through and you will complete step one, which is the orientation. You will complete the course tour by reading information about how the course is oriented. You will download and read syllabus, download the class schedule, and read the course participation guidelines. You will create an OpenStax tutor account, which you need to buy an access code from the bookstore for about $10, and this is your online homework. We will be using OpenStax physics textbook, which is free, so you don't have to buy and purchase that. You will participate in the table tips introduction forum where you introduce yourself to the class. You will sign up and log into Pivot Interactives, which is our online lab website. It will cost about $13, and you need to buy that access code from the bookstore as well. Reviewing the college services and contacts, library resources, and then finally you will take a graded orientation quiz, which is based on information in this part of the orientation. When you are done with that, you will go back to the main folder, and it is strongly suggested that you go through the math review. You need to make sure that you review the metric system, unit conversions, significant figures, trig, and that you make sure that you understand and have a good handle on the math in this class. So looking over chapter 1 will be good, watching these videos will be good, and also completing the math review and OpenStax tutor to see where you are. And if you're having problems, you need to contact me and we can do a review session with you to target the areas of problems that you have. Let's look at a general module folder so you'll see the overview of that. Each module lasts about 2 weeks long, but every week you will have something to do because every week we are meeting via virtual class. So actually, if I come over here to the Start Here menu and I pull up the course schedule, just to kind of go over that. So I'm going to pull up this course schedule here so you can see it. Make it a little bit bigger for you. Maybe not that big. During week 1, which is this week, we will be meeting on the 12th via the virtual classroom link at 11 o'clock promptly. You need to read the syllabus. You need to have done your review of conversions before you come to this class in Vector Edition. At least gone through the review of it. You don't have to actually do the math homework, but you do need to make sure that you have read the syllabus and that you have done that. We will meet for 2 hours, and I will go over some of this with you and practice with you. And then on the 15th, which is the due date for the module, you need to have completed the orientation syllabus quiz, the icebreaker form, which is table tense, and the math review quiz for a grade. In week 2, we begin Module 1, and Module 1 is a review of oscillator, simple harmonic oscillation, which is what we finished up Physics 151 with last semester. And you will need to go ahead and start those assignments. To prepare for our virtual class, you will need to have completed the Module 1 forum activity in Pivot Interactive. So you need to have registered in Pivot, and you need to have gone through that activity because it orients you once again to Pivot. And we will be working with that and using that in our virtual meeting on that day. The next week, you need to have already looked at your homework and your lab and come with specific questions. And we'll do some lecture where I kind of review things and some practice where we practice, and then I will address any questions that you have specifically on the 26th. And then on the 29th, all of the Module 1 assignments are due. The Homework 1 worksheet, the Module 1 forum, and the Lab 1 in Pivot. So that's basically how your virtual meetings and your module grades will work. So this is something you'll want to print out. Once again, it's located in the Start Here menu under Orientation Step 1. Now, if we go back to what a typical module looks like, let's take a look at Module 2. When you open up the module, you'll see the learning objectives, you'll see what you need to study, and you'll see what you're actually going to be graded on. So in this particular one, you're going to have homework in OpenStax Tutor that will be graded automatically, and I will transfer that grade to the gradebook. You have a folder with PowerPoints and lecture videos. You have an optional set of reading questions that takes you through each section and gives you questions on them so that you can practice what you're reading. You have a graded Homework 2 link. You have a Doppler effect activity that you'll be doing this week. We won't be doing that in the virtual class. This is something you'll do on your own. You're going to watch a video, then you're going to post to a Padlet. And then in Lab 2, you are going to complete a Pivot Interactive. So this link right here, this blue word, Lab 2, is actually the link to the interactive, but if you log into Pivot Interactives to our class, you'll see it listed as Lab 2, Exploring Wave Properties and Speed in a Rubens tube. So that's basically how these are structured. The grading works like this. So if I go to our syllabus, this is it. Let me just kind of go over this real quickly. We're on a 10-point scale. So your homework and your self-checks, the homework worksheets that you have, 4 homework worksheets that you'll actually do work, scan that in and turn that in. and you have self-checks and OpenStax. Their average is 25% of your grade. Your discussion activities, many of which will be integrated into the virtual class participation, the discussions require you to complete an activity by the end of the first week of the module, which coincides with preparing for the class, virtual class, and then answering and constructively interacting with 2 of your classmates on 2 separate days after that. So I'm looking for a total of 3 posts on 3 separate days, and that grade will be 15% of your grade. Your virtual class participation will be calculated each day that you come to class. You get 10 points, 5 points for actually being there on time, and 5 points for actually constructively and actively participating in class. So if you just come and log in and you do nothing, you may only get 5 points for that day. The average of that will be 15% of your grade. Your module labs, which there are 6 of them in Pivot, the average of those will be 25%. And then you will have an cumulative seated exam. Well, actually, it's an online exam, and it will be video proctored, and it is 20% of your grade. And we will have a week where we review and do stuff in class, in the virtual class, to prepare for that. I've given you an example of grade calculation, and I do round if it's 0.5 or higher, and I do not drop grades. So I've got pretty detailed explanations of what I expect from you, what you should expect from me in this, and then you'll take a quiz on this, as part of your orientation. So I really look forward to meeting you guys. This has been all business-like right now, but I do look forward to meeting you. I will see you first thing on our first class at 11 o'clock. I expect you to be there on time, so maybe plan to get there a little early so that you will be on time. And I also will tell you more about myself then. But have a wonderful rest of the week, and good luck getting started. And please email me or call me whenever you want to.